Hey, 7th grade. Welcome to Logic class. Today we're going to continue our introduction to logic. We are in lesson 16. This lesson is entitled Inference. I know what you're thinking. Wait, lesson 16? Weren't we just on lesson 14? Yes. But according to our curriculum, lesson 15 is actually a review for the first 10 lessons. So I decided I'm going to skip lesson 15 and go straight to lesson 16. Today's lesson is inference. So we've already learned that statements are the basic tools of logic. Using statements, we gather information to form a conclusion. This is also what people like police detectives do. A detective will look at all the physical evidence to reach a conclusion. But sometimes physical evidence is not enough. In order to shed light on some of the evidence, they may also need to gather information from other people. This is when inference comes in. Inference means deriving new facts from information that you already know, as opposed to getting information from a direct observation. When a detective solves a crime, one of the first things they have to do is interview a witness or people who are close to the incident. This is called secondhand information. The detective didn't actually witness the crime, but it is possible for them to figure out who committed it based on what the witness tells them. This is inference at work. Here's an exercise to help us practice inference. In each sentence, the word logic has replaced the same word in all of the sentences for each problem. Read all the statements to infer what the original word was. So our first sentence reads, make sure that all trash ends up in the logic. So just by reading that, you might, in your mind, make the connection, okay, trash goes maybe in a trash can, so maybe the word logic is replacing trash can. But let's read the next statement. I carry my books in a large black logic. We know that this word logic is actually replacing another word, and it's the same word from the previous sentence. More than likely, you do not carry your books in a large black trash can, so we know it must probably be something else. Let's look at 3. Billy's mom put the cookies in a Ziploc logic. Okay, usually if you're talking Ziploc, you're talking a Ziploc bag. So bag here would start to make sense. Let me read the 4th one then. That'll just solidify what we're thinking. At the grocery store, they asked me if I wanted a paper or plastic logic. What logic would tell me is more than likely this missing word in each of these sentences is actually the word bag. Because if I were to go back, make sure all the trash ends up in the bag, that would make sense. There's a trash bag. I carry all my books in a large black bag. That would make sense. Billy's mom put the cookies in a Ziploc bag. Perfect sense. At the grocery store, they asked me if I wanted a paper or a plastic bag. Inferring, we can come to the conclusion that this missing word is bag. Let's look at another problem. What word do you think logic is replacing this time? I'll give you a few seconds to read each statement and try to figure it out on your own. The answer should be back. If we were to go back and plug the word back into each of these statements, I wrote my answers on the back. That would make sense. My mom had to take back the book that we borrowed. That would make sense. While taking the test, don't look back. That would make sense. I don't know what kind of test that is, but don't look back. And then the last one, my grandpa has a bad back.